Everybody, we are back. It is Taped Live's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, discount code pandasubs.com. Use discount code TDL for 35% off. I got the shirt on today, so Panda Subs. Go ahead, check that out. So pandasubs.com, TDL, 35% off. All right. So today we're going to do some Michael Mayerr and Marcus Epps today. We do a little breakdown of both those players and see what they are looking like going into the 2024 season. Not too much news. I guess there's the AP news, but I'm not a lawyer, so we need to get a lawyer on here to talk about that. But I guess he has some issues with a car dealership.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer and I'm not an accountant. That's why I watch tape for a living. So I could tell you.
Yeah. So, I mean, his wife filed the bankruptcy, so I don't know how that's going to work. But, I mean, I don't know if that's going to be a distraction. I guess that's the conversation because, Mike Florio was like, this could be a distraction. This could get in the way. I don't know how much that is because, in my opinion, this had to be coming for a while. This is not just
he had to know it was coming. Which probably makes the promotion. Maybe that's why he was so damn inspired last year. He's like, we're about to owe a lot of people a lot of money. I could use some extra cash right now. But no, I mean,
yeah,
I feel like the fact that it's in his wife's name, when you make that kind of money, when you make NFL head coach money, you have people take care of that for you. You have your lawyers. Yeah. We handle it. You just got to show up and put on a suit every now and again, which, I mean, I guess that could be a distraction, but for the most part, like, I'm not like, it's summer. There's not a lot of talk going on. Florio loves to drum stuff up, especially this time of year. Again, he doesn't have a whole lot to talk about. So, I don't know. I mean, Florio is, I guess, a lawyer, so he probably knows that it is a big deal. Like, I'm not discrediting it's not a big deal, but I don't think as far as it being, I don't know. From what I understand, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a huge distraction.
Yeah, it shouldn't be, because even with filed bankruptcy, if you know about, I mean, you're basically clearing all debt. So you have a debt to somebody. That's what bankruptcy does. So especially with the big money they have. So if they're clearing their debts, then with the bankruptcy, then I don't know if it's too much to worry about. I mean, because basically what Florio was saying that they're threatening to garnish his wages with Mark Davis. So he wasn't going to get paid.
He's going to coach for free. That's how invested Antonio Pierce is in the Raiders for all you haters out there. He's going to coach for free, literally. I guess
so that's why exactly. That's why you file bankruptcy, so you get rid of the debt, right? And it kind of clears all your debts. So you kind of start over, and then you still are able to make money, but you know what I mean. So that's why you would do that. So it kind of makes sense a little bit from that angle, but I don't know how big of a deal it is. I feel like it's just a little bit of attack on AP. I'm not sure people are making a deal about it. I know Deshaun had to report on it, I guess, but it's just more reason for it to attack AP and say he's not cut out for the job.
Yeah, it feels more like just a bad look than anything that I'm like terribly concerned about. But
exactly,
again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an accountant, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be an expert. But I don't know. People file for bankruptcy all the time. Business file for bankruptcy and they end up being fine. So I'm not tripping over it.
Exactly.
And again, so he's got people for that.
Go ahead, man. What do you say?
I was just saying, and again, he's probably got people for that. So too, I mean, like for you or I, we'd be screwed because we'd actually have to deal with this and face the music. When you're rich, you pay someone to take care of that for you.
Exactly. All right, man. So we're doing Michael Mayerr and Marcus Epps. So continuing like going up and down the offense, checking out some of these guys that contribute to the Raiders in 2024. So we're keeping that going. So Matt, you did Marcus Epps. What were some of your thoughts on Epps going into 2024?
Yeah, I mean, I think Epps is a solid player. He's like definitely a solid safety, a solid starter. I still think Trevor Merrick's the better player of the two, and as far as those two go, and I know both those guys are impending free agents, so I don't know how much longer Epps is going to be on the team. But again, I think he can be a decent starting safety for you, and I think he's a good fit with Graham because he's a guy like he plays the run pretty well, but he does it better from like the free safety alignment where he can kind of come downhill and crash downhill that way. Like if you ask him to take on blocks, he's only like 5'11", 6 foot, like 190. Like he's not the guy. He's not the box, your traditional box safety who can kind of fill that role in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
And then in coverage, he gets caught with some bad eyes every now and again. Like we'll see a few of these reps. Like we're gonna have the touchdown from the Steelers game where Marcus Peters did get beat on, but we'll see it. Like he kind of got caught cheating towards too much towards George Pickens' sides and didn't put himself in a good spot and to be able to help Peters out. And then his tackling is a bit of an issue. Like we'll see even on a few of his good reps, like he had, gets high pad level, which you can't really have, especially when you're 5'11", 6 feet, not the tallest guy in the world, and again, not the biggest dude. So that can become an issue. But like I said, man, he's pretty solid overall. So
yeah, just from last year, he just doesn't get in the way. He's not really going to be a superstar or make the Pro Bowl or anything like that. But he's not a bad safety to have as your starter. He was a starter on one of the best defenses in football, a couple years ago. So he definitely can make it work, and he's usually in the right spot. But there are some mistakes, especially individually in coverage. I don't know how good he is, but you can hide a safety a lot more than you can hide a corner or something like that. So but he'll be fine. He's a pretty good player. So I did Michael Mayerr. Michael Mayerr definitely has a lot of upside. I mean, there's no other way to paint it. He has tons of upside. Definitely a player that I think he might surprise. I think he's gonna get more targets than we think. I saw JT the Brick. He's super hyping up Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is gonna change everything, and all that stuff. But I still think that there's gonna be a chance for Mayerr to have basically contribute to this football team. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of contributions from him because I think he's gonna be on the field a little bit more than Brock Bowers, just because he'll be able to block. And if they want to go 11 personnel, you're gonna see Michael Mayerr on there, in their blocking. If they want to run the ball from that and give people different looks, it's probably going to be Michael Mayerr in there and not Brock Bowers. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes throughout the season. I mean, if they go 12 personnel as a regular thing, or how much they run 12 personnel, that's going to be the interesting part for the season, because Getsy does like to run that and have a lot of tight ends on the field, especially on first and second down. So we'll see how that factors in. But they're going to want to switch it up. I mean, you can't just run from 12 personnel every single game. You're going to have to switch it up to some 11 personnel. And that's why I expect him to be on the field a little bit and maybe get some of those play actions and some of those things, because he's just a way better blocker than Brock Bowers. I don't know if Brock Bowers is ever going to be the type of blocker that Michael Mayerr is. So that's why he's going to stay on the field a little bit more, while Brock Bowers figures it out, figures out how to win and get open in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about Mayerr is, like, he's thicker. And I think, like you said, he's the better blocker. And, like, as far as like being like the starting tight end, like with the first stringers, if you're running 11 personnel, I think I completely agree. I think it'll be more Mayerr. Mayerr might end up having like more snaps, like a little bit more snaps than Bowers, just because he'll play more on running downs. And I think the other part of that too, and this comes with him being bigger, is like Bowers isn't great in contested catches, but Mayerr is, and I think that's part of what complements those guys so well. And like you're talking about, like, I don't know how many targets he's going to get, but where I think he can make an impact is in the red zone, because that's where he was really good at Notre Dame. Like I remember it's like last year at Notre Dame, I think he had like 6 touchdowns. I want to say 4 of them were inside the 20 or in the red zone, and then the other 2 were from like 25 yards out, just to kind of paint a picture for you. So I think that's where he can really add value, and I feel like that's where he added value a little bit last year too. Is the contested catch he had for a touchdown against the Jets stands out in my mind. And I feel like he had one more red zone touchdown last year too. So, I just think, like you said, like that's where he can kind of play off of Bowers, who's a little bit more of that bigger receiver type, and stay on the field a little bit too. And that's going to be his role in the offense. Yeah.
Because I think Bowers is going to get like a lot of flat routes and a lot of things to get him in space. I think he's going to be used a little bit, probably like DJ Moore got used a little bit, which is, just, I could see that because, DJ Moore is pretty good in space. So is Brock Bowers. So, maybe you might see some of that get added in, but we'll see. But I still think Mayerr is going to play a lot. He's not going to be just benched for Brock Bowers, because he has a role, right? So that's why I think it is. All right. So let's do some Michael Mayerr first. All right, so we're going to start off with some blocking. So, of course, there's times that he's going to get beat. I mean, it was mostly when I was watching film was Khalil Mack. So, I'm not going to be like, oh, you could block Khalil Mack. All right. So here we go on one of the, Josh Jacobs' longest runs last year, which I thought was a great run. So you get the outside zone here. right? And he's getting matched up one-on-one with Trent McDuffie, and he just handles him like a tight end should, right? So this is the type of tight end that you like, because sometimes these tight ends can't block corners like this, but he's just dominating Trent McDuffie. Trent McDuffie has no chance. He gets all this drive, and there goes Jacobs.
Like the first level on that too, to help kick that DN inside.
Yeah. So you can see how he helps kick that DN inside there, right there, and then gets out to Trent McDuffie. Boom. Big old hole. Great block by Colt Miller too. Colt Miller had a great block. I mean, it's almost a hold, but it's okay. we take that, Well, I mean, what's Carmen Brazil doing? You gotta have white gloves on here, man. Why don't they have white gloves on? Get white gloves on your lineman here. All right, so here's another good block. This one is on basically a crack toss here. You see him give help to Mumford. Just a good job there, right there. You see Michael Mayerr get up to Mumford and then get up to the second level. Make another good block there. Boom. Can't kind of, not allow that. That's a big linebacker there too. So, and I think it's Bentley. Big old ass right there. So you see him get to the second level, take on that guy, right? And so you see how physical. This is why he's gonna be on the field. Is because of plays like this where he's to be able to block. He just got better as the year went along. I remember against the Steelers, he was awful, and then you see him here against the Patriots, he just gets even better. So now he's going against the defensive end here, and you can see that he has pretty good pad level here. Got his hands inside. He's able to drive. He's just a fighter. His hands got a little bit outside, but I mean, this isn't fully on him. I mean, he's blocking Josh Uche. This is a defensive end. I mean, this is what you like from a tight end. I think Jacobs could have took that outside maybe, but you like it. You like what you see from him as a run blocker. He does his job. I mean, when you're blocking defensive ends, I know Josh Uche's not the biggest guy, but it helps when you're able to block most defensive ends. Of course, you're not gonna be able to block Khalil Mack. I don't expect you to, so I wasn't gonna put that on here because that was all his losses for his like superstars. All right, that I don't expect to block that. So you see him a little screen and pass protection, and this is actually where he's kind of was just from day one. He did a good job as in pass protection, which I thought was super interesting. Right, you see he has good feet too in pass protection, which is just something that's just he's a damn tight end. You see him here against it's George Karlaftis right here. And Karlaftis can't get around him, even though it's a little screen. I mean, O'Connell still had a pretty good pocket there. So I mean, there's a lot to like from Michael Mayerr there. All right, so also with Mayerr is you can hit him at every level. So I'm gonna hit every level here. Okay, guys, we're doing every level. We're gonna start off with the flat route. So you can hit Michael Mayerr in the flat, a little play action, right? Fakes a block. Get him out in the flat, boom, wide open, and then you just let him break some tackles, jump over some guys. Easy 17. And this is exactly what you can do with these guys. You can do this with both of them, right? I mean, this is something you can do with both guys. It just gives O'Connell a lot of options, gives him easy completions. That's what the Raiders need, is completions to keep the chains moving. Don't need to get too crazy here. All right, so here he is again on this drag route, little mesh concept. I do want to point out that Trey Tucker just burns this guy right here. I just want to point this out. This is just his release. He just burns 27. That's a touchdown. But Jimmy Garoppolo does have pressure, to be fair. And then you see here Michael Mayerr making a guy miss in open field, making another guy miss, playing physical. Turns that into this is 3rd and 7, so he got 7, turns it into about 20 yards.
Nice.
To see how physical he can get, man. He likes to play physical. Brock Bowers is a little bit more finesse than him. He's more of a physical player. But he can still make guys miss. You can see it with the wiggle he has, right? It's even a pretty good route. Working the mesh route, set it up really well. Make a guy miss, go after some contact, break the tackle from Kyle Duggar. Works out here. So, like I said, on the flat routes, in these short routes, you can get him on here too. Here he is, his touchdown against Chargers. Just fake block, get him outside right there, wide open, touchdown, Michael Mayerr. So, I mean, it's easy completions you can get him and get him involved early. One thing I really like about him is the way he plays zone. So see here, he's kind of running an option route for himself, right? But he sees the opening in the zone. Looks like we got quarters here from the Chargers, and he gets the opening in the zone really quick there. This is 3rd and 7. Boom, get that ball, break a tackle, fight, get a first down, get to the red zone. To watch it one more time here. Boom, get that opening, get your head around quickly. First down. Now, I really like this one too. This one he really sets up. I mean, the Chargers are kind of showing basically like they're going to blitz. Then they go into inverted cover 2 here. But you see this linebacker thinks he's going to run a seam. He does a good job of selling that seam, and then he cuts back inside and it makes himself available right to the quarterback, expecting that football. First down. Let's go one more time here. He sells that seam. You can even see where his eyes are looking right inside on him. It's a good route. First down. Michael Mayerr. And you see a little bit better from this angle here. There you see him sell that go route. Right, you see where his eyes are. Boom, cut right inside. First down. So it's just impressive stuff, man, all over and over again, to be honest. All right. So I just expect him to get more targets, man. Even with the draft pick that they got, I still expect him to get some targets. You can see here on the out route, it's a good job of using his body to lean on the safety here and then get open. First down. On 3rd down again. Tough to take down. It's just not easy. You'll see it better from this angle. Is the lean here. From the end zone angle, he's getting matched up with 21 here. All right, see him kind of just lean on him a little bit, right? Get physical.
It's a good tight end route right there. Use the flipper to get open. Use your arm.
Yeah. This is the ultimate tight end route, bro. Not that Travis Kelce wiggle stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like I said, against like zone coverages, he just does a great job. He's just a great job of seeing this blitz. He sees Kyle Duggar coming. I think he kind of actually sees it better than Brian Hoyer, in my opinion. You see here, he gets his head around so quick right there. And he's able to hit him. Saying like Hoyer's a little late there. I feel like Hoyer, if he saw that blitz, he hits him a lot earlier and he could do a lot more damage there.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to be pissed if you're Mayerr here because that ball was a whole second late.
Like he's looking at Jacoby Myers, like he just like ignored the blitz. He just look at he's looking at Jacoby Myers over here. There's Michael Mayerr just right there. If he just saw the blitz and replaced it, it's too late. You know, maybe he scores or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So and then you talk about the contested catches here. So this is probably his best catch of the season, in my opinion. I mean, the one against the Jets is pretty special, but I just feel like this is just pure hands and physicality, and it's just a pretty damn special play. But this is what you can do with him, man. Just throw the ball up to him. I mean, he's not open here. Just throw the ball up, throw it high, let him go get it. Fully extended. That's a great catch. Come down with the football.
Beautiful.
And then you got this one here, which, you know, everybody pretty much knows, where you just beast this guy. Like, just throw it up to him in the red zone. Get some fade routes to him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you watch him on this here. This angle. It looks really cool from this angle here. Just
go get the rebound.
Yeah, rebound. Right. And one thing I think last year what they were missing big time is just he can win deep too. Right. I think that's one thing that we didn't see last year is his ability to win deep. And I really hope they find a way to expose that this year out of these play actions. So this is a perfect example. We get him in the seam route and he just is wide open. I don't know why Brian Hoyer doesn't throw this ball to him there. I've been figuring it out for at least 7 months. And he's just wide open with his hand up, right? But this is something that he can do.
Yeah.
That they need to expose this year. That's a touchdown, bro.
Is he a little pissed after that too?
He should have been. I mean, this is the design. Like, this is like the ultimate. This is like the Gronk play. You know, he's wearing 87. And he just like
looking at him too. I don't know. Pull the trigger, dude.
All right, here we go on this one too. You know, O'Connell doesn't really go to him on this one. He's getting a little bit of pressure, but you just see him just go past Kenneth Murray.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you get a matched up 1-on-1 on a linebacker like this. Is these zone coverages you're going to see, especially with Devontae Adams. You see this guy. He's worried about Devontae. You get him right over in the middle. Boom. There it is. Good throw right here. So, yeah, I think that's one thing they were missing from last year is him attacking the middle of the field through seams. Like, he can do that. And now you got to think about it. They go 12 personnel. They have Brock Bowers and him going up the seams against linebackers, right? You can match them up both sides and have them go up seams, and wherever the safety goes, or, you know, it makes it tough on teams, especially when you play, you know, a lot of these 2 high teams are going to be so worried about Devontae Adams because it doesn't change. I mean, they're going to cloud Devontae Adams. They're going to make sure you can't do your fade routes to him. And that's how you get it open up for these guys. And that's going to be, if they can attack the middle of the field and make teams have to worry about this, that's going to be big. And, you know, it's the easiest throw for a quarterback. I mean, throwing to the middle of the field, even throwing a seam route to the middle of the field, throwing a go route to the middle of the field, those are easier throws for quarterbacks. They have to throw it outside the numbers a little bit. So it'll make it easier on the quarterback if they can attack that too, and attack those seams, because that's something they didn't do last year. And I think that's something they need to add for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like just watching all these breakdowns, like, whoever's the quarterback, man, they're just gonna have so many options. Like, just watching Mayerr, I mean, part of it's him staying healthy too, but like what he was able to do and just the growth that we saw from him last year. Like, he wasn't known for creating separation, and then we showed the play where he's like figuring out ways to like use his body to create separation, and already was good at contested catches, and you know, showing that too in the NFL, and be able to go up and get it and use his body as a weapon, which is exciting. But I think the most encouraging thing for me, though, in all those clips was just like, and just looking at his rookie season, like how much he grew as a run blocker. Like, the play that sticks out in my mind last year was from the preseason, and I forget. It was against the Rams, right? And that was that guy that was the converted D tackle. I forget how to say his name, 97 or whatever. I just blew him like up. Like, it was like the first play too. Like, blew him up like 2 yards in the backfield. It's like, all right, welcome to the NFL. This is what it's like. And like, that was one of my concerns with him coming out of Notre Dame, is like, he just wasn't physical enough to block the ends. And like you said, against guys like Khalil Mack, who gives a lot of people trouble, whose offensive tackles trouble. You know, he still has that issue, but like, he just got so much better and got so much more physical. And I think it started to click for him, unfortunately, right about when he got hurt. And I mean, but again, like I said, moving forward, that just makes me more encouraged about what he can do in the running game, just seeing that growth and seeing him take that step over just 1 year.
Yeah, man, it was impressive to see his growth. That's why I think if he got to finish the year, because he missed the last 4 games after that Chargers game, I think if he got to finish the year, we probably would have saw a little bit more growth and maybe even some more targets towards him, especially like in the Chiefs game. Like, I mean, those are type of games where you needed a guy like that, where you could just get an easy completion over the middle of the field against some of the coverage they were doing. And, you know, he would have got some one-on-ones and things like that, and kind of wouldn't have to worry about throwing outside as much. So, you know, some of those things he was missing from. So it's going to be interesting to see how he grows in the next season. But he seems determined. So it's going to be a cool look for sure.
For sure.
All right, man. Let's get into some Marcus Epps.
Sounds good, man. All right. So we're going to start with a few of the bad plays. I do think Marcus Epps is like decent in man coverage. This rep's obviously not a great example of it. I think he gets caught with his eyes in the backfield. We'll see it from the end zone view here too later on. But yeah, I mean, he just gets beat by this tight end on the drag route. But I think this little play action fake, like, again, we'll see it a little bit better from the other angle. He kind of just gets caught with his eyes in the backfield, hesitates a second, maybe a little flat footed, and ends up just getting beat to the spot. The bigger problem, and this is going to be a common issue, is a little foreshadowing for later, is the missed tackles were an issue for him last year. Like, here, just not a great angle, a little too deep. Again, what I was talking about in the intro, just way too high, ends up missing, over pursuing. giving up 5 yards now. At least cuts it back into the teeth of the defense, but that's the play he's got to make, especially when it's his man. You'll see here, like, looks like he might have had his eyes maybe a little bit on the running back here, maybe trying to cheat and come up and play the run here, and gets caught, but wasn't a huge issue for him. Thought, and if anything in coverage, he's better in man. And we'll see a nice rep from him, a couple nice reps from him later on in man. This is the touchdown I was talking about earlier. Again, Marcus Peters gets beat, which is the bigger problem. No hands on him or anything like that. But again, this is cover 1. And as the safety, you can't get beat over your head. Now, what I will say is the Raiders were very clearly, just watching this game back, they were very clearly worried about George Pickens for whatever reasons, like almost too worried about him winning deep. Now, granted, I think part of it's because they have Jacorian Bennett. And like you'll see, again, they're running cover 1. And even though I guess we do have 2 receivers here, but our post safety is damn near on top of the numbers. And he's eyeing Pickens the entire time and not working for any or very little depth. And then 2, like at this point, he's screwed, right? Like Peters is already beat on the post by Calvin Austin, who I think has like 4.3 or maybe even sub 4.3 speed. Yeah, like he can fly. That's the one thing he can do in the league. And we've got our safety, who again wasn't working for enough depth, with his hips pointed in the opposite direction. Like no chance. Like at this point, like this was 6 no matter what. Even though they even get some pressure here. Again, Marcus Peters can't get beat, but we also can't have our safety playing a curl route where Jacorian Bennett actually has decent coverage on that, and get beat over the top for a big touchdown. Can't have.
I wonder if he was coached to do that. That's
what I'm saying.
And expecting Peters just to win 1-on-1, and he just
I that's all. I'll cut him a little bit of slack. But my thing is, the thing that killed it for me, like I almost didn't include this, but the thing that killed me is this little turn. Like I can see that too, where I'm like, if he kept working for depth and it was just cheating that side, I think he might be all right to at least make a tackle on Austin here. But once he opens, like he's screwed. And I think that's where it becomes the problem. Yeah. But yeah, no, they definitely, like, just watching other plays too, like they were very worried about George Pickens and kind of lost sight of Austin and the other guys throughout the game. But yeah, definitely cut him a little bit of slack there. Yeah. But we'll get to see another example here. This time the Raiders are in cover 2, and he kind of gets away with it here. Like Raiders are running Tampa 2, and he gets caught with looking at the seam route here, which actually ends up just turning into a middle hook. But even if it is a seam, now granted, it's not a great matchup, but we at least have Robert Spillane playing as the Tampa 2 dropper. And again, like I was talking about before, the Raiders were worried about George Pickens. George Pickens is doing this little curling up or semicircle thing here against cover 2. And I mean, if Kenny Pickett just stays in the pocket, like that's open. That's a big play right there. So
what the hell is he doing?
Kenny Pickett being Kenny Pickett. Can't blame Matt Canada on this one, because this was actually schemed up pretty well, especially with Epps playing way too far in and taking the cheese a little bit on that seam route, or that hook route, I should say. Trying to chase the seam. And again, I mean, Pickett throws that any sooner and doesn't bail out of a clean pocket. That's a big gain, and maybe even a touchdown. All right. Moving on to a little bit, or what I would consider more of his bigger problem in coverage, missed tackles. I mean, we'll see it here. This one is 2nd and 10. And I don't mind him playing deep in the zone. Raiders are running cover 3 here. And I mean, Brandon Faison should probably get deep. For you guys that want Brandon Faison to start this year, probably should take care of the seam route instead of crashing on the curl where we have the help. But
yeah,
no matter what, we got Jarrett Stidham back there, and he's just going to check it down for us. And bail him out. But the problem is Broncos end up picking up the first down. So we just get a bad tackle from the safety. This has got to be made. Now, Javonte Williams is not an easy guy to bring down, but we can't be diving on the ground and making his job easier to pick up that first down. Let's see. I got the number here. 13 missed tackles last year, 16.5%, which was a career high. Not good.
Wow. That's a lot of missed tackles.
Yeah. And trust me, we're going to see a few of them here. Yeah. This one was actually the opposite. Normally he's too high That one, he was just too low. Now, this one, again, not entirely his fault, but as a safety, we're the last line of defense. We got to prevent touchdowns. And I mean, my bigger issue is this isn't even like a good move from Jerry Jeudy. This is just a straight over pursuit by Marcus Epps. Like, Jeudy is getting off of breaking one tackle. And I mean, like, that should be an easy play for Epps to make. I'm not saying he'll prevent the first down or anything like that. But I mean, we had 2nd and 20. We end up giving up a 24-yard touchdown. Like, that, we can't have this. Got to have someone bring him down. And again, when you're 5'11" and you're 6 foot, there is no reason why you should be tackling high.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends up letting Jeudy score. Again, I'd cut him a little bit more break if it wasn't an issue throughout the season. Like, I think we're going to get another one here. Oh, yeah. This one against Warren. I mean, Diablo is there to help save him. And he does, I guess, similar to that rep I was talking about before, like, make him cut back. But when you're the safety in the last line of defense, we've got to make tackles. Got to make this. And again, like, you can see it. He's straight up and down on the tackle attempt. Doesn't do a great job of breaking down and ends up getting juked out of his shoes. Luckily, someone else is there. All right, moving on to what he does well. So this is a little bit of what I was talking about in the man coverage. Him and Hobbs had like a really good communication. We'll see another rep. I think this is the one right after this one, but like, you'll see them like against this stack formation, this bunch formation. They'll communicate a little bit how they want to play it if they switch. And I mean, he ends up on Jerry Jeudy after this little switch release from the Broncos. And I mean, this is Jerry Jeudy's route, the little whip route. And sure, they might complete this if they throw it, but he's at least there to mirror and match it and make that tackle, hopefully.
Yeah.
To make that tackle and play that. And I mean, Stidham doesn't get there, ends up getting a sack. So again, I think he's decent. He's again solid. Not going to hype him up too much at helping out in man coverage. See a similar play here. This is what I was talking about. I mean, they motion and he pretty clearly knows what's up already and sees what's going on. So I was talking about with the communication with Hobbs. Hobbs is telling him to pass it off. Goes over. Pretty clear this is what Stidham was wanting to hit on this double flat concept, wanting to hit the receiver in the flat. Sees Epps is crashing in on it already and doesn't like it, wants to come off of it. Now, why he didn't just go straight to the running back is beyond me, but we'll ignore that. Because again, Spillane with this play action fake has to come downhill for a couple steps and ends up being late to the flat. But regardless, our guy Epps here does a great job of seeing the throw, coming off of his man, and then coming up and make a nice tackle. This one was a lot better.
Yeah.
You can see this little more physical, drops his pads, and at least, uses his help well. I would like to see a little bit better wrap, but hey, we'll take that for no gain. Give us a fighter's chance get the stop. Get a good view of the tackle here from the end zone view.
Crosby had him spooked. That's right.
I don't know why he didn't just go straight to this, but
it's Crosby, like, bro. Like, who's Max?
But even so, like right here, like right when he comes off of the receiver, I guess he's trying to hit the tight end on the screen. Nah, I didn't see that before. But even so, I mean, the flat was wide open. The second flat was wide open. Either way, I think Epps makes that play. I'll give him the credit there.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on a little bit more to what I think is his bread and butter. And it's coming from these deep alignments and crashing downhill. He's pretty quick at reading plays. This one, I think it might be a little bit more of a blitz with Trevon Merrick dropping in a cover 3 or cover 1 look and him rolling down in the box. Like, one thing I like that he does pretty well is he avoids the trash to not have to take on blocks. Mm-hmm. And he does a good job of influencing running backs. Like, he sees this. He knows Hobbs is going to be able to taking on this offensive tackle, which not a great position for the Raiders to be in. So what he does is he stems it out wide, and like we'll see it from the end zone view too. And like that's going to get the running back to cut back inside, but he's also not so wide that he can't just put his outside foot in the ground and then match the running back and go make the play. Now, not the greatest tackle attempt. I do think the Broncos actually end up getting the first down here, but hey, they're starting on what they're inside their own 20. You know, we'll live with the first down here, especially when you're coming from depth. And nice job too, again, like I said, of setting that up and forcing him to cut it back, and at the very least cut it back into his help.
Yeah.
Be a good view of what he sees here. Starts crashing downhill. And this is what I'm talking about too, like where he starts stemming wide. And I mean, technically, like this is Nate Hobbs' gap, or this is Nate Hobbs' alley, and then this is where he's supposed to be. But if he just goes right here, then this linebacker, or then we have Hobbs on an offensive tackle and a tight end on Jack Jones with the running back to go with with an outside lane. Instead, he kind of takes it wide. Running back cuts it back up.
Yeah,
he gets involved in the tackle instead of maybe a big gain or explosive gain. It ends up just being a first down, a 4-yard first down, and they're again still within their own 25. I think this is a similar play here. Yep, same play call looks like from the defense. This time it's going to be power instead of that pin and pull concept. But like you can see what I was talking about a little bit earlier too. Like he picks his spots well. Like right, he's blitzing, but he's going to stay measured. Hey, let's go let Robert Spillane take on this tackle. I don't want to do that. That's not what I get my checks for, to take on 300-pound offensive lineman in the hole. Instead, I'll stay measured. Okay, Spillane's take care of that guy. I'm gonna go get the glory, meet the running back in the hole. And again, this is what almost makes those other tackles frustrating, because this is perfect. That's picture perfect. Like good pad level, wrapping up the legs. That guy's not going over anywhere. Now it's 3rd and 4, and we got a chance to get off the field on 3rd down. See it on this angle. Perfect. Boom. Great tackle. This is perfect. Put this on the teach tape. Boom. Bring him down. So yeah, that's where I like him. That's where he's kind of an interesting profile. He's a guy that he does better playing the run from that free safety spot and coming downhill than he does in the box. Granted, I'm about to show a play of him in the box here, but he's blitzing and not going to get blocked here. And this is another thing that I think he does well is he disguises blitzes. I think the next clip out of this one's kind of pretty similar against the Steelers, right? He's going to line up, head up on the tight end here and then wrap around, and he doesn't tip it pre-snap. So now this right guard doesn't know to come off the combo block. And it's a perfect play call for what the Steelers have with this inside split zone run. And he's right there to go get an unblocked tackle for loss. And again, much better tackle coming downhill. Also, shout out John Jenkins. That was a manly play against that center.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, see from the end zone. I see he's going to stay outside. Actually, the widest tight end, the second tight end out here, little nub. And boom. I mean, he doesn't start moving until the ball snapped. Guard doesn't even see him. Guard's stuck on Diablo. He just goes right by his ear, and he gets an unblocked tackle for loss right there. With some help from John Jenkins. Similar rep on this one again. Now, Marcus Peters actually ends up making this tackle, but as we come to learn, can't always count on that. Couldn't always count on that from Marcus last year.
No.
But similar type of thing. Going to come down, blitz. No one sees him. Right tackle doesn't pick up on it and just stays on the combo block. And he forces Najee to cut it into Peters. And then boom, helps clean it up. Another nice tackle for loss. And Marcus Peters almost misses this tackle because he goes for the ball. All right, this time it's going to be a different situation. 3rd and forever. Steelers are going to end up running a draw because the Raiders were basically giving that to them. Again, 3rd and forever. So they got 3 to a side here, 3 on the 3 defensive linemen to the right of the center. And we got Robert Spillane cheating to that side of the field inside the hash with Max Crosby outside the tight end and Divine Diablo almost pretty much on top of the numbers. So Steelers just say, screw it, we're going to run a draw. But luckily, Epps reads it, comes downhill. Again, another nice deep tackle, gets his pads down, and at least forces them into that field goal attempt. And the reason why I like this play too is, like, if you look at this, like we got the block here by the tight end on Diablo that he's sealed. Spillane is working backwards. His momentum is going back. He does end up actually getting off this block because this dude loses his feet underneath him. But again, his momentum is going backwards. Jalen Warren's a good running back, low center of gravity. And that's Marcus Peters out there. Like I just said, couldn't always rely on his tackling last year. That could be a first down if Epps doesn't make that tackle. And then if he can beat Trevon Mayerr, that could be even a touchdown too. So that could be one of those disastrous plays that you end up giving up the big, long third down conversion. But since our safety's there to go up and make a nice read and make a good tackle, they end up getting what we want and forcing them to kick a field goal. All right, last play here. This was actually the play after that little play he made in the flat that we saw earlier against Broncos. So a couple nice back-to-back plays for him here on the goal line. Same kind of stuff that I was talking about, like just staying measured. Now, again, I would like to see him do a better job of tackling and not give up all these extra yards. But hey, I think it was this was second down, so give us a chance on third down to keep him out of the end zone and force a field goal. But same thing, like stays measured. He knows where he needs to be. Like, right, he reads the play. He's getting over to where he needs to eventually be. But hey, I'm gonna let Max Crosby, I'm gonna let Divine Diablo, I'm gonna let my linebackers take care of those offensive linemen. I'm just gonna come free and come clean it up. Like, this is how you want your safety to play. He's being measured and still being aggressive at the same time. That's how he knows what he's doing a little bit. Instead of like a Jonathan Abram, he just runs full head of steam. Probably tries to take on this puller and a running back ends up running free, right?
Yeah.
But with Marcus Epps, staying measured and picking and choosing his spots of when to crash downhill. That's what I like about him. Got some good instincts versus the run. Yeah, not the greatest tackle.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him drop the butt, get down, especially on a guy like Javonte. But hey, we at least hold him up, let everyone else come clean it up, and give our defense a chance.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. That was Marcus Epps. Yeah, he's just a solid safety. You know what I mean? He's not spectacular. He's not gonna do anything crazy. He's not gonna really, set the world on fire. But he's solid. That's what he is. He's a role player, in my opinion. He's gonna do his job. Obviously, you see that he's a very prepared player. So yeah, I mean, it's can he be replaced? For sure. Yeah. But he's a solid player, though.
For sure. He's a guy you can win with. Now, he's not going to be a guy you win because of or anything. I don't think he's going to make many. I don't even know how many picks he has in his career, but he's not going to make a ton of plays on the ball or anything like that. But like I was saying, especially against the run, he's going to be in the right spot and do his job more times than not. It's just a matter of, I think, being a little bit more disciplined in coverage, especially against that last line of defense and cleaning up the tackling. Those to me are his two biggest issues moving forward that he needs to work on.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. All right, so that was today's episode, guys. We got Michael Mayerr and Marcus Epps. So, like I said, we're going to continue doing this on these episodes. Also, check out Friday Night Live this week. And, of course, go ahead and check out my Luke Getsy breakdown of his past game versus Chargers. I'm going to do some more of those this week as well. So, just be on the lookout for all these videos, guys. And like I said, we've been doing, breakdowns to everybody. You got the draft picks. There's a whole lot of stuff you guys can look at in the summer and support. And then also, get you some merch, man. Get some merch. I gotta put this thing up here. Get some merch, man. Get hit this. Go ahead, pause it. Hit that link. Go get some Taped Online merch. Shout out to everybody supported so far, and just keep that going, man. Keeps the guys supporting us and supporting the channel. So, like I said, hit the subscribe button, guys. Subscribe, and we are out of here. Peace.